Hey guys, this is Bebe872 and this time we'll talk about the hotfix and the meta after patch 12.12. Three key things to note is that Volibear and Deja are now back to ordinary battle power, so they're neither too strong nor too weak anymore. And all of the previous decks before the patch are now viable again due to not any specific deck being too strong or too weak. If there's anything that is being used more than others right now, it's probably going to be Idis into a bunch of backline combo strats. So it's going to be Idis frontline with tank items into a Corki backline, or Idis frontline into a Xayah backline. That is being the most dominant build, but we'll get into it one by one. The most important thing when going for 1-cost 3-star rerolls is to know exactly what augments fit your 1-cost reroll carry the best. Preparation is a must augment. This is the augment that can tell you, hey, how about we go for 1 cost like a 3-star this time in total. Now, other augments such as Blue Battery can be good for Israel for infinite ulting. Scorch can be good on set for the extra like a damage. And any form of attack speed increment on Nidalee can be good for the extra like a DPS as well too. In terms of atomizations, you do want to go for an ultimate Israel, so you want to go for a blue buff into 2 damage atomizations. For Nidalee and Set, you do want Quicksilvers because they are melee carries. And you want Guinsus for the scaling and Deathblade for the burst damage. Now right now, Set isn't too strong because of his nerfs, but if you're off for preparation as Scorch, you can definitely go into him and hope for a first place if you high roll all the way up to a Shyvana. Now let's move on to the 2-cost carries. Ta-da! Okay, let's go to 3-cost now. Alright, now 3-cost carries aren't actually as strong as they used to be. Mages got a severe nerf. Olaf got a nerf as well too. At least Anivia, Swain, and Volibear were never that dominant in the first place. So you can only go for them when you high roll. So when you have really good augment starts, when you start with these guys, find natural upgrades, and maybe have a 3-cost 3-star angle with Pandora's box. I mean Pandora's bench. Then you can go for these carries and atomize in a sense, but I don't recommend these carries too much because I feel it's more of a 4 and 8 cost like a carry meta due to how strong Idis is. And now 4-cost carries. 4 costs right now I feel are the most important ones to consider. Right now, Idis with the tank item like Gargoyles or Redemption can be really strong and impenetrable in the meta at the momento. So what you do is you put Idis in the front, and then you either prepare for like a Xayah route or a Corki route, and use them for backline like a DPS carries while Idis buys you infinite time. Xayah, there's also a different Xayah guild deck that uses Talon, so you go for Xayah, Talon, or in Hecarim, these 4 costs like a main carries. And Xayah is just as strong as she always used to be as well too, so she's actually very powerful. Corki is the one that is rising a bit in this patch because since everything's HP is a lot less than it used to be, just put Corki, and Corki with the Cannoneers and Rebels can actually slowly kill the enemy down one by one while Idis buys you time. Siphon, Xiaoyu, and Deja are still okay-ish, but they're not like as dominant as they used to be as compared to previous patches. They're only something you use if you find them early during the early mid game like stage 2 or stage 3 and use them as a win streak and then transition off into a different composition mostly. Deja, I would only recommend Deja with mirages such as Duelist, Warlords, and Dom Ringers. Spell Swords can also be very decent if you can get enough stacks online. And the items that you put on Deja is usually Guinsus, Giant Slayers, and Hextech Gunblade. It seems my head is blocking it. Okay, for the 5-cost carries. Now, 5-cost carries are mostly the same. You want a Shojins on Aoshin, you want a blue buff on Yasuo. But one thing about the patch 12.12 is that Aurelion Sol is not as strong as he used to be. I mean, mages have been nerfed very hard, so they're also not performing that well. And right now, most of the decks have just so much battle power, so much damage, they'll just cut through your front line instantly and take the soul down before it charges. So I don't really recommend going for ASOL like too much in this set. So this is what the meta looks like amongst the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 costs. As you can see, it's more 5-cost focused. Of course, in China right now, they're still focusing more like a 3-cost carries, like Elise, Volibear, Olaf. They really love Olaf at the moment as well too. So we will need to see how the meta will pan out. But this is how it looks like at the moment. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you next time.